Today, Lil Durk is recognized as one of the most influential figures in modern hip-hop. His music dominates charts, his collaborations reach global superstars, and his name carries real weight in the culture. But this success wasn't instant, and it definitely wasn't easy. Durk's journey is a long story of survival, loss, patience, and relentless work, shaped by the streets of Chicago and tested by tragedy at every stage. Durk Banks grew up on the south side of Chicago, in the neighborhood of Englewood, an area known for hardship, violence, and limited opportunities. Many kids in the city grow up without their fathers, but Durk's situation was extreme even by Chicago standards. When he was still an infant, his father was sentenced to life in prison after being connected to a major drug operation. From that moment on, Durk was forced to grow up without a father figure in his daily life.
Despite being behind bars, Durk's father remained present in other ways. They stayed in contact through phone calls, and his father repeatedly warned him about the dangers of the streets. He wanted his children to avoid the same mistakes, but growing up in Englewood made that nearly impossible. Durk's mother was left to raise the family on her own, struggling to provide for multiple children with very limited resources. Durk has spoken openly about how difficult those years were. There were times when food was scarce, and survival became the priority over everything else. By the age of 10, Durk felt pressure to contribute and began hustling just to help his family make it through. Like many kids in his position, he initially dreamed of escaping through sports, especially basketball. But reality set in, and he realized that path wasn't going to save him. Music slowly became his focus.
Around 2010, Durk began recording and releasing music independently. He formed the collective that would later become known as OTF, Only the Family, a name that reflected his loyalty to the people around him. At first, music was just an outlet, not a serious plan. That changed in 2011 after Durk caught a gun charge and was sentenced to jail time. While incarcerated, something happened that permanently shifted his mindset. Durk's first child was born while he was locked up. That moment hit him hard. Growing up without his father had made life more difficult, and he didn't want his son to experience the same pain. He realized that continuing down the same road would only repeat the cycle. When he was released, Durk stood at a crossroads. He could either sink deeper into the streets or fully commit to music. With no education, no money, and a newborn child depending on him, the pressure was immense. But instead of giving up, Durk chose to work. He began recording relentlessly, dropping tracks that slowly gained attention around Chicago. Songs like Sneak Dissin' and I'm a Hitter helped build a local following, proving that people were listening. Using platforms like MySpace, Durk built an audience organically and released his early mixtapes, staying consistent even when the numbers were small. Everything changed in late 2012. Durk released L's Anthem, a song that instantly put his name on the map. The track carried raw emotion and reflected the environment he came from. While it amplified existing tensions in Chicago's streets, it also introduced Lil Durk to a much wider audience. Suddenly, he wasn't just a local rapper. He was a name people across the country were paying attention to. He followed that momentum with Dis Ain't What You Want, a record that pushed him into the mainstream conversation. In 2013, Durk signed a deal with Def Jam Recordings, marking the biggest milestone of his career so far. It was the moment many artists dream of, but for Durk, celebration didn't last long. Just days after signing his deal,
he found himself dealing with another legal situation involving a weapon charge. Once again, his freedom and future were at risk. At the same time, his longtime associate, Chief Keef, was experiencing massive success of his own, already working with major stars. Many expected Keef to intervene, but that didn't happen, leading to tension between the two that would last for years. Durk didn't let it stop him.
After his release, he doubled down on his work, dropping Sign to the Streets, a project that became a defining moment in his career. The mixtape showcased his growth, authenticity, and hunger, earning respect beyond Chicago. In 2014, he was named to the XXL freshman class and continued releasing music at a relentless pace. While industry recognition grew, Durk also faced public challenges. He was involved in high-profile disagreements with artists like Tyga and The Game. But unlike many artists, Durk addressed situations directly and avoided escalating things into something permanent. Over time, tensions faded, and Durk kept his focus on progress. His debut album, Remember My Name, dropped in 2015 and debuted inside the top 20 of the Billboard 200. While some fans expected higher placement, Durk remained patient. Instead of slowing down, he released more projects, building a deeper catalog and a stronger fan base. By 2016, it became clear that despite his talent, Durk wasn't receiving the recognition he deserved from his label. Internal conflicts within OTF and controversies surrounding former associates created distractions. But Durk was already operating at a level where outside drama couldn't derail him. In 2017, he proved his work ethic again by releasing multiple projects in a single year, including collaborations with Lil Reese and T Grizzly. The following year, Durk made a major decision. He left Def Jam and became independent. That move allowed him to take full control of his sound, branding, and future. Around this time, OTF entered a new era with the rise of King Von. Von's storytelling and authenticity brought renewed energy to the group. Together, Durk and Von built momentum that pushed OTF to new heights, dominating streams and gaining national recognition. By 2020, Durk finally broke fully into the mainstream. His albums climbed higher on the charts, and his collaboration with Drake on Laugh Now, Cry Later exposed him to an even wider audience. Years of grinding were finally paying off, but success came with devastating loss. Durk has lost multiple close friends and family members to violence over the years, including fellow artists and relatives. The death of King Von hit him especially hard. Beyond music, they shared loyalty, history, and legal battles. Von's passing marked one of the darkest moments in Durk's life and career. Despite the pain, Durk continued to push forward. In 2021, tragedy struck again when his brother D-Thang was killed. Shortly after, Durk and his partner survived a violent home invasion. Through it all, he turned his pain into music, channeling grief into creativity. Lil Durk's story isn't just about fame. It's about endurance. About staying focused when progress takes years instead of months. About turning loss into motivation instead of surrender. After more than a decade of grinding, setbacks, and sacrifice, Lil Durk didn't just survive. He built a legacy. And today, every record he releases reflects the long road it took to get there.